Right, let's ask it again. So Arsenal have now one game. So Arsenal have one game a week to focus on until the end of the season after going out of the Europa League, which begs the question: is this a blessing in disguise? Will they now focus solely on the league? They've got Crystal Palace tomorrow, 2:00 kickoff, which we will preview now. But could this be a good thing? Because the Arsenal fans that I've spoken to claim to say, "Oh, I wanted us to go out of that." Do you ever want to go out of that? And the team talks, the little huddles on the pitch would tell me that they didn't want to go out of that competition.
I think that's a dangerous mentality to have. I think to just say like, "Yo, we don't want to win cups," especially in a cup Arsenal haven't won before. Like they don't have any European trophies whatsoever. So for that to have been another kind of one that Arteta ticks off, FA Cup, Europa League, potentially Premier League, that would have been a nice trifecta. So I think all season as well, I don't think Arsenal have played well in the Europa League. They've played rotated sides, almost like they're not taking it serious. And I felt like they got knocked out the FA Cup against City, playing a rotated side as well. So for me, I always think it's one of the things, I mean, Spurs fans will agree with me here as well, it's one of the things that frustrated us about Pochettino was like, in the cups, we're not a team that wins many cups. Do not rotate the squad and see this as an opportunity to, this season, Sheffield, how we went out rotating the side. So I think Arsenal, in that game against Sporting got the job done, in my opinion. I thought Sporting came.
What a goal, by the way.
Incredible finish. One of the best goals this
50
season.
yards out.
Everyone's too busy focusing on Kim Kardashian in the stands and all these leaking parts of the arenas.
You know those tweets that say when your girl turns up and you have a screamer? He saw Kim was up there and thought, I'm going to have to impress her.
Kim Kardashian had their heads spinning, bruv. So I don't know what happened, but Sporting came, got the job done, and I don't think any Arsenal fan who says that they're happy to be out of it and now they can focus on the league. Picture the scenario: if you don't win the league now you've potentially walking away with nothing.
There you go.
When the Europa League could have been there for you, when the FA Cup could have been there, because you beat City in that FA Cup. All of a sudden, who are the other big sides really left in it now? What is it, United only, really?
Yep.
Like these are the kind of opportunities you don't want to throw away and give up. So I think and I laughed at it midweek when I saw Arsenal fans after the game tweeting, "Oh, it's a blessing in disguise." I'm like, listen, when we take L's, we all try and give out those words to make ourselves feel better. Whatever helps you sleep at night.
Positive spin.
But there is no way any Arsenal fan can tell me they're happy about that.
No, but I think it is though, because they don't have a lot of squad depth, do they? Squad depth is a big issue for them. So having that extra time to play the games, I mean, you saw it with Chelsea when they won the league.
Jorginho was
there
brought in.
Yeah, they were brought in, but it's still not enough squad depth.
Tomiyasu at fullback.
Mate, you're going into the trenches in the hottest part of the season against Manchester City. They have more depth than an Olympic diving pool. Arsenal is like a kiddie's paddling pool in comparison. You cannot say that they have enough depth to compete on two fronts.
Sporting.
Yeah, they should be beating Sporting. Don't get me wrong. But to say it's not a blessing, to say it's not something that's going to help them, not having to play on Thursdays and then Sundays, 3-day turnarounds, I mean, I don't know how you can turn around and say that when they don't have the best depth. They're going into a battle now. Their best chance to win the league in decades.
I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that.
It's not something you want to do. I'm not saying that a team ever goes into a competition
comfortably.
Of course he stepped in.
Don't tell me they ain't got
depth. But look at the depth that City have. Look at the battle they're in.
Yeah, but at the same time,
the trenches.
At the same time, this is
you're comparing it to City's depth. That is unrealistic. No one can compete with that.
They're whipping out dual-wheeled Deagles while City are sat there with a Browning machine gun stuck to the brim.
We're saying this now.
I don't care. You can slide Trossard in, who you in yourself said Brighton might be his level, and now you're trying to slide Trossard into that conversation. That's a different story.
Yeah, that is a good point, to be fair.
But they do not have it's a massive, massive
making noise now.
No, because we're talking about
what I said is that you're trying to bring Trossard into the conversation now, despite in that clip about 2 minutes ago saying that he wasn't good enough for a time race. You perfectly was his level.
You're so dumb. You didn't even realise you just played into my point. Because what I'm saying is when Trossard comes to Arsenal, he is squad depth. And right now, I just brought him up to say Trossard is squad depth.
So with injuries coming in, he has to start for them.
Point disproved.
Yeah, but take away.
That is not point disproved, because you said Brighton was his level.
Yes. Did you understand the point?
Yeah. Well, your point. I don't care if you can try and change your tune.
Don't try and
You can try and change your tune
No.
all you want with
I didn't
squad
change
depth,
my
this
tune. I
and
asked
that.
you a question.
You said
I
point
asked-
blank,
stop waffling
Brighton
and
is
answer
his
the question.
level, and now you're talking
just
about
shouting.
him going in a title race against Manchester
What are you
City
talk-
and being relied upon to get the goals for them
No
and play what?
You went
two
so far
games
off
from
topic.
Thursday to Sunday. I have been more on topic than a
What are you
quiz
talking
show,
about
mate.
right now? What have you said in the last 2 minutes
What
that's
have I
relevant
said
to
in the
what we were
last
saying?
minutes? I said your point
You
was
just
that
waffled
he
for
is-
2 minutes.
You made 2 points. First of all, that they have enough squad depth to fight in Europe and fight in the Premier
haven't
League
disproved that.
in a title race against
haven't
Manchester
disproved
City. I don't say they don't. I didn't say that they can't do it. I still thought they had the league wrapped up. But you cannot turn around and say not having to play on Thursday and then Sunday with their squad depth, which does not line up in any way comparable to Man City,
Why
and
are
say
you
that it doesn't
bringing
help them.
City into this?
Because they're the ones they're going up against.
City
I'm not going to bring up
is City
Liverpool.
the
I'm
only
not going to
Let's get a
bring
poll
up
on this.
Spurs.
I
No,
think
I'm
a poll.
saying-
I think
I'm
we
saying,
need a
look,
poll.
look,
Who's
look,
right,
look.
Fuad, or is it James too?
I'm saying,
Let's get a poll.
right now, we
Right there,
expect, we
let's
get a
expect,
poll
we
up.
expect, yeah, for teams to compete on multiple fronts. Are we saying Arsenal don't have a... You're essentially saying Arsenal do not have a squad to compete on multiple fronts this year. That's the bottom line
You're
of what
bringing
I've
an
got.
extreme argument.
Yes
I
or
never
no?
said that. I said it's a benefit. I didn't say they can't do it. I said it is a. Your question, the question that was phrased is this a blessing in disguise for them? And yes, it is. That is my answer. I didn't say they can't.
And
I
as
didn't
I
say they
said, I
shouldn't.
think that's
But
a
it is a
dangerous
Let us know in the
mentality.
comments.
I think-
We've got
I
a
think-
poll up. Fuad and James too. Let's go to Aaron to get.
I think it's a
his
cop out.
opinion on
I
this.
think saying it's a blessing in disguise is a cop out because if you, first of all, Arsenal are not in a position to be picking and choosing what you can and can't win. You can't sit here and say, yeah, we're out of the FA Cup. Yeah, we don't want to win that. Out of the Carabao Cup. Yeah, we don't want to win that. Out of the Europa League. Yeah, we don't need to win that. But the Premier League. Oh yes, we need to win it. So what are you essentially telling your players? What mentality are you bringing over to
Some of
the
the players aren't doing it. This
Because
is
if
the
you-
fans saying it. The fans
okay,
aren't
the
there
fans, that's
going.
fine.
I mean,
And I'm-
Robbie's not
and I'm
walking
speaking
into
to
the
the
changing
fans.
room before the game like,
No,
you know
but
what, lads? I
I'm
don't
talking
really want
about the
this
fans.
trophy,
But
mate.
I am
Let's keep
talking
the
about the
Premier
fans
League,
because clearly Arteta, with his changes, he showed me that he wanted to win this game. He clearly showed it to me. He was on the touchline doing all this and bringing on his best players. He wanted to win this game.
Of course he did.
But for the fans to say that this is a blessing in disguise, so what? You're content with winning the Premier League and that's it?
No,
And-
but
Of course they are,
maybe
mate.
winning-
They haven't won
maybe
it since
winning the Premier League.
Maybe.
Because if you
And
don't
then-
win that, then you've got nothing.
And I'm also hearing, yeah, oh my God, it's actually nice we're at the Europa League because we would have had Juve and having to play Juve and Liverpool in the same month is tough. So what are you going to do next season then?
In the Champions League,
In the Champions League
literally,
when you're
bro,
playing
you
against
can't
Real
run from
Madrid
it.
and then Chelsea and
It doesn't matter, man. It doesn't. They'll have the.
do you
They'll
mean it
have
doesn't
the
matter?
champion. They'll have the funding
Man
from
just
winning
said it
the
doesn't
Premier League.
matter.
They'll reinvest.
No,
What
but you-
matters
All right,
right
I'm
now is
gonna
not the
step in.
future.
I'm gonna
It's winning
step
the
in.
Premier League now.
I'm going to step in. We've put the poll out. Who is right, Fuad or James Toon? 65% going with James at the minute.
So they're saying
get
Arsenal
those
don't.
votes in, mate.
Arsenal don't have
500
the strength.
votes so far.
I think that's the first vote I've ever won in my life.
Arsenal have the strength. Don't have the strength apparently to compete on multiple.
Here we go.
fronts.
I
Super
never
chat
said
time.
that.
Super chat time from
That's what you
Kevin
said.
Jimenez, who says it's a loser mentality to be happy to lose a cup.
Thank you.
Another super chat saying the keyword is intensity, saying Peter, a huge drop off for Arsenal in intensity because subconsciously players weren't feeling Europa League. If performances aren't the same, we'll leave well alone and just go for the league. This Man United bum saying we're not in a position to choose when we're at the top of the table. LMFAO. But here's my final question to you, which again is the same sort of question, but does this benefit them not being in the Europa League? I would say yes. I would say yes, personally. But then your argument of, well, if you're quite content to only play once a week for the next 11 weeks, how
No,
on
but
earth are you
that
going to
is-
do
no,
this
but
next
that's-
year when you are in the Champions League, in every cup? Because let's not forget, they're not in the League Cup or FA Cup as well. So they had two kind of trophies to go for. Now they've only got one, which isn't a guarantee, of course. But I do think this helps them. But then this can't be a thing that you rely
Listen,
upon
playing
going
one
forward.
game
You
a
can't
week is
say,
obvious, though.
we only
It
want
helps.
one game a week for the next 5 years, because that
Yeah.
means we'll definitely win something at the end of it. No. To be the best, look at us last season. We played every single game and every
Challenged
single
for
trophy.
everything.
And no one was saying, I mean, they're saying it now, right? But no one was saying at the time, oh, Liverpool would be happy if they went out the League Cup final to Chelsea. They'd be,
Yeah.
no, if you're in it, you've got to win it.
Facts.
Yeah, but look at where
you're in
you
it, you've
were.
got to
You
win.
already
Look,
won
yeah.
the Champions League. You already won the Premier League. Arsenal haven't won anything significant aside from a couple of FA Cups since 2004. This is their
No,
biggest
it's a
chance
point.
to